Alright. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. So it's time we can start the workshop. So first of all, let me introduce myself. So my name is Louis from the City U Library. And we are welcome you to join this JULAC webinar. So the topic of this webinar is about introduction and practical demonstration of Scite AI for academic research. So this is part of the event of the John E. Resources Discovery Week 2026. So if you have any questions during the webinar, so please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. And the webinar will also be recorded and made available in the event website later on. So please also stay until the end of the workshop. We will tell you how you can join and win the quizzes master prize later on. So now I'm pleased to introduce our speaker, Eric. So the implementation lead at the Research Solutions since 2015. And Eric is an experienced professional in information science and publishing sector. Before joining the Research Solutions, Eric worked in technical support and sales engineering at Waters Cooler and West, following the start of his career as a network technician and in the French mobile telecom. He holds a master's degree in computer application with a focus on the system admin and also project management from the IPI school. So without further delay, so let me hand it over to Eric. So Eric, please.
Thank you for the introduction, and let me share my screen. Number one, there. All right, you should all see my screen now.
Yes.
So as Lewis already said, right, I'm Eric Colto, working for Research Solutions. We are a provider of online software, and I will introduce today our Scite platform, which is AI built for research, right? Quick look at our website here. We'll find information on what Scite is, the core idea behind Scite. So you can see some screenshot here of the content inside. You can see here an author search, here filter by author, filter by year. So you understand it's scientific literature database, right? And behind this scientific literature database, the creator of the tool were researchers um, and academic professors decided to introduce a concept behind the number of citation, right? So when you read a paper online, you often find this number of time a paper is being cited by others, but it's just a number, right? There is no real insight on how the paper is being cited. So they have introduced this concept of supporting or contrasting papers, meaning a supporting paper will be a paper where the findings of the research are similar to previous research, right? And on the contrary, a contrasting paper would be a paper where the findings are different from previous research. Just an introduction for now, right? Browsing this, and I'll go in deep details later. Um, and this is first thing powered by AI, right? Because we don't have the resource or human capacity to read everything and index everything. So AI has been trained to analyze the citation statement. So what we call a citation statement is usually 2, 3 sentences around a citation, and the tool will determine if it's supporting or contrasting. Also, most of the AI tools today, they will allow you to look in open access content, right? Or their proprietary content and nothing else. So we go beyond just open access because we have a strong partnership with publisher, because we also provide a PDF article on demand. So we have that strong partnership with publishers who are allowing us to index their full text, even if the full text is behind a paywall, right? So that's the core content of this database. Billions of citation statements. So again, what we call citation statements is 2, 3 sentences around where an author is citing another. And it's currently under 200 millions of articles, book chapter, preprint papers, and dataset, right? So just to give the context, because often the question is, what am I searching when I'm searching Scite? So you are not searching any other content, you're searching an aggregation of content coming from multiple places. So first, anything which is open access, so with the full text, so the citation metadata plus the full text. The publisher, we have an agreement with the metadata and the full text. The publisher, we don't have an agreement with. We get only the metadata, which is the title, the authors, the abstract, these kind of things, but not the full text, right? We think that we have around 40-50% of the database today with full text. Precision search, again, indications that you can do limit on your search and filter. And a bit of blah, blah, blah here. You can track research with dashboard. I will show that in detail as well. And you can upload a paper of your choice, and the tool will automatically analyze those citation statements in the paper and extract those citation statements and provide a report on the paper you will upload. And of course, since we have all this data, we have predefined journal, author, or institution dashboard. All right, so let's dive in. Since we are a provider of software as a service only, any software you need to log in. So that's why we have this big login button on our homepage here. And for Scite as well. So that's the Scite homepage, right? That what you should see if you go to Scite. I have associated my IP address with your institution license this morning. So when I'm going to Scite, I see that I'm accessing from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and the tool will let me do advanced search and everything, but will not let me save any custom session, right? So if you just want to do a quick search, it's okay. You can come here, do your quick search, and no need to log in. If you are going to save dashboard or save search, so you can see that you have options here to create dashboard, to save some searches. You want to see your search history with your prompt history with the assistant. you need to be logged in. So that's first thing probably you want to do. Click login here and sign up. So I already signed up this morning. It's a really fast operation in two-step. Type your name, email, set a custom password, and done. So I did that already this morning to try to get in a bit faster. All right, once you're logged in, so we are, again, it's a quickly moving area, this AI and software as a service business. So we are constantly upgrading and improving the tool. One of the most recent release we made is the MCP. And I found, looking at the data this morning, that some users in your institution are already using our MCP connection. What is the MCP? So we can maybe look at that quickly. I will not demo that today, but the idea behind MCP is that you are using another AI assistant, right? Like those most known one now are ChatGPT or Claude, and you want to interact in your ChatGPT prompt with Scite. So you can ask ChatGPT to provide information based on data from Scite. So, and we have been introduced here directly in the ChatGPT store, so you can quickly go there and connect your ChatGPT account with Scite. So whenever you type a prompt in Scite, you can ask in ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT to collect data from Scite, right? For now, this MCP connection is doing connection only to the open access content, right? Because like I said, Scite has a lot of content which is behind paywall, and we have the agreement from publisher to put that content in Scite, but we don't have the agreement to expose this content outside. So for now, the MCP connection to Scite will look only in the open access content. Right, so let's review the different tabs that we have on the home page. So first thing is the assistant search, right? So this assistant search here, it's again a classical usage of AI where you are entering a prompt and you are getting an answer. The difference here is that when you type in your prompt here, it's searching only those millions of articles that are indexed inside database, right? It's not going to find information outside of the scientific literature, which is indexed in our database. So you can use that, for example, to do literature review, right? So you can summarize a topic. You can fact check what's in some specific paper. You can do some discovery on papers and so on, right? And with that prompt mode, right, where the idea is not to find papers, really the idea is to ask a question and getting an answer to your question. We have added a table mode, and this table mode here, more than interacting as question answer, the interaction is that you get a list of papers and extracted information from that list of paper. So that's why it's a table mode, because you will get a column with a list of papers and column with the extracted data from the paper, if possible, right? And this AI search here lets you in control because you have the settings here where you can select a model. So we are not inventing any language model. We are using existing one. So we are using, again, GPT or Claude. And we have classified those here in order from the fastest but less reasoning to the slowest with more reasoning, right? You can also change the reasoning effort to lower or higher, right? You can change the length of the answer. You can select the dashboard. So I said that when you're searching with the assistant, it's searching in the entire Scite database. You can create a dashboard with a selection of paper and ask the tool to provide specific information from that specific list of paper you created in a dashboard, right? And by the way, you notice that in the tool everywhere you've got this small eye icon. This icon will provide you a lot of help in context, right? On what you are clicking, what it's doing. There are many other options here. I will not review all options, but other than that, you can also select if you're searching in papers or patents or just a mix of both. We have introduced recently patents. This tool started really with only research papers. You can change the year, the ranking of the paper. We'll see that the assistant, I show you how the assistant is working, the type of publication, right? We said that we have book chapter, research paper, preprint, so that's listed here. The type of reference, you can even limit to a specific journal, right? You want the tool to extract data from a specific journal and extract article from a specific journal. Analyze document, that would be a paper that you have uploaded, right? I said you can do reference check, so you can upload a PDF and you can extract specific information from that PDF alone and ask a question focused on that paper. Publication here is a list of DOIs you would like the assistant to use. So that, again, limiting the search. All right. So I'm just browsing all the different features now, and I will go in detail afterward. Then the search. So this standard search here is more discovery search like you would do in Google Scholar or PubMed, or I don't know which tool you're using to do your search online. So the idea here is not asking a question and getting an answer or extracting specific information from papers. Here the idea is you are typing keywords and you are getting a number of papers, right? So here you are looking for articles published, right? MCP, I already explained it. Then here, there is a link to profile. So your profile, when you fill your profile, you can link your researcher ID here, and you will see how you're being cited and citing others. You can link your publication to your profile and see some metrics. Dashboard, like I said multiple times already. So it's the idea behind dashboard here is to create like a portfolio, right? You're creating a portfolio with a number of papers. Either you create this dashboard from a list of DOIs, right? You have a list of papers that you found in Scholar or wherever online, and you have that list of DOIs in Excel. Just copy paste that list of DOI, and that will create a dashboard. Or you can create a dashboard from a search, right? You can do a search in Scite database using the search, the standard search mode. So you get a list of papers, and you can create that list of, save that list of papers as a dashboard. More things here. So journals, organization, and founders. That's just a specific dashboard. I call it dashboard as well, with everything published in one journal, everything published by one organization, and finding funding agencies, right? Browser extension, that's where I start the actual demo, is getting those Scite badges. What we call the Scite badges is that little thing I've shown in the introduction with number of citation with the supporting and contrasting statement. All right. If I want to look to one of these journal organization founders, that will be clickable in the continuing demo. But if you want to search for your organization, for example, here, so there is a very simple search here. You can filter by country, Hong Kong, oops, and Polytechnic. And here we are, right? Then you can see when you click on the institution. So that's an example of a dashboard, right? So this dashboard here is not a search, it's just one institution. So you can set an alert on this dashboard, meaning whenever there is a new paper published by the institution or a paper citing one of those 120K papers, I will receive an alert. There is a quick introduction on the subject here. There is a link to visualize those 120K publication, and that's actually a standard search here, right? It's just doing a standard search, filtering on the affiliation of the author. And I could do additional keyword search to find specific paper published by your institution, for example. So 500 papers talking about warehouse have been published by Hong Kong Polytechnic University, right? What can we say about this dashboard? I'm taking a bit of time here because that will come again with the same information later when I do my searches. So citation type, again, the total of supporting, the total of contrasting statements, right, found in those 120K article, the number of mentioning statement. So that's in total 2 million extract of full text that we have in our database. The number of papers with a retraction or withdrawal or correction. And here is a small index that we started a while ago to rank not only the institution, to rank research, to rank institution, to rank journals. So the closest to one will be that number and the less contrasting, right? And again, you see there is this little icon explaining you where this number is coming from. So there must be at least 100 papers here. And we do the quick calculation of dividing supporting by supporting plus contrasting. So that's why it's always below 1. And the closest to 1 means the less contrasting. As simple as that. So it's a different way of ranking that we are looking at. Less contrasting mean less arguing on their research findings, right? So you see the trends here evolving with the years. The author ordered by number of publication in this institution, and I can click an author and see the same kind of information for one author. And here you can quickly see all the authors. And the thing I did from the standard search, I could do it here, right? So I could filter warehouse here and would see only the paper where warehouse is appearing in the title. All right, so let's move on with the browser extension. So browser extension, you can click more here and browser extension there, or when the menu is on the left, it's also there. It's not there, right? So you have to get it from the home page and go to browser extension here. This browser extension, once installed, it will appear in your browser bar here. And the idea here is that you will get insight when you browse the web, right? So I have here a paper from Science Direct, right? And this Science Direct paper, right, has been cited a number of times, right? So you can see from the metrics available by Science Direct. So that's basically metrics, but again, probably based only on what Elsevier, on the Elsevier data. So here we don't have only Elsevier data. We have all this bunch of data we are collecting to create the database. And in our database, we have 313. So this 313 is the same as this 300. It's just that we have 13 more papers, maybe because we have index preprint that they don't have in their calculation or whatever, right? And if you click on this, so that's what we call a site badge. I'm showing it, this site badge here on Science Direct. It will appear anywhere where the tool can find a DOI in the page. So it will work also in Scholar. If you do a search in Scholar, you will see those site badge below your citation. And you can directly link from that Science Direct page to Scite. And So that's what we call a citation report, right? So that's a report for a specific paper. So in that specific paper report, we have, of course, all the metadata available with the report. And like I said previously, so you can browse journal or institution, or you can link directly to the institution by clicking on those small icon number here, right? You can see an author summary by clicking on the author name, and you can see a journal dashboard by clicking on the journal name. Here we have a special link access via your library. It's because it's Hong Kong University as a link resolver. So we have added a link to your link resolver where you can find if you have access to the full text. Summarize button here will use the assistant to provide a summary of that paper. So I can quickly show that. So that would be a first way you can use an assistant is putting a DOI, or you could put a list of DOI in this box here, and the tool will do a summary of the paper, right? So you don't need to access the full text here. You get a quick summary of the paper by just asking the assistant to summarize it. Next cite, that's for you to cite this paper. If you're writing and you want to cite this paper, so you will get citations that you can insert in your Word document in the different standard available. And this is another way to check for full text. One is the link resolver, and the other one here is also the link resolver, not sure. So I guess this one is the link resolver, and this one must be the libkey link, because you have both a link resolver and libkey. So the second one is the link resolver going to a suffix, and this one is where libkey would send you. And if we look here, we have another summarize button. So this button will not summarize this paper, it will summarize all the citations, right? So that's the paper citing this one, right? The easy way to find it is the year it's published, right? So this one was published 2015, this one published 2006. So this one cited this one, right? So this paper being cited by those 313 papers. And like I said, for those papers, we are extracting citation statement whenever we can, open access or publisher we have an agreement with. So this second number here is not the number of papers, it's the number of full text excerpt, right? So we know that this article published in 2015 is citing this one in the discussion section. So not only we are looking how it is cited, but in which part of the paper it's cited, right? So it's basically in the discussion, right? Not in introduction, not in conclusion. And so this paper citing this one, this statement is again classification made by AI supporting with confidence of 90%, meaning the AI is quite confident it is actually supporting. And if you read the full text, so that's the one which is bolded, is the one on the top, right? And you see the text saying this finding is in agreement with. So obviously, because the AI found in the text that this is in agreement, so these things that they are saying before is in agreement with what Shaw said in 2006. So that's why we say it's a supporting, right? Another one which is contrasting here with less confidence, right? So you can see that the AI is less sure that it's really contrasting. Maybe there are conflicting group of words in the text which not make it sure it's contrasting. But if we look at it, so these results differ from those in other countries as shown by Shaw. So it's differ from, but this differ from is quite far from the reference here. So that's why it's less confident. It's really, and it says different from countries, not really different from the previous paper. But still, in the end, if you read it, this one, published in a different country, is contrasting with the finding from this one. So that's the first thing important, understanding the contrasting supporting statement, what it is. And these numbers, first number being number of article, citing this one, and the second number being the number of full text excerpts. And the number of full text excerpts, sometimes we have one full text, so one mention to this article, but we know that sometimes authors are publishing or writing an article and citing a previously published article multiple times. So here we have only one citation statement. Here is 1, 2. It's always here we have 2, right? 1, 2. One mentioning, another mentioning. I wish I could see one with more. Sometimes you'll see there is a little icon to expand because there are more than, it's citing more than 1 or 2 times. It can cite 3, 4 times, so you can expand. Then on the left, similar to those screenshots I've shown in the beginning, so you have where you can filter those citing publication. So I want to see only the supporting, so it will be only one. I want to show this and classify. I want to filter per year, right? I want to see the one which have been published most recently, citing the one on the top. I want to, again, filter on the publication type. Is it an article, a book, a preprint? I want to exclude, for example, if an author is citing themselves. So if at least one of the author here appears here, then that means it's a self-cite because an author participating in this article, citing this one. Independent means, so here we have an independent citing. It's very rare. Authors, you can filter by authors, the list on the right. You can filter per journal, right? Visualize the citation. So that will show you a graphic with how the author is citing each other. Export report, you find that everywhere. You can extract data in Excel or RIS or BibTeX if you want to import in your citation management tool, or Excel if you want to do your own analysis of the data. Add to dashboard would add the paper on the top in one of your dashboard. I can do that now. So I will. So I have this paper. I have no dashboard yet, so I can create a new dashboard, right? So that now I have a dashboard with one paper. Just to finish with that page, so we have this first tab on the left, which is the paper citing this one, and the other way around. This paper published in 2006 was referring to the paper published before 2006, right? So that's here, the paper which are referenced in this one, right? And again, with all the papers, you get the site badge, the link to LibKey or to your link resolver, the ability to add, for example, I will add this one to my dashboard, right? I will add to my existing dashboard here. So that's now 2 in this dashboard, right? And this publication is referenced 1 time in this paper. Let me find one which is referenced more than 1. Oh, it's always 1. This one has been referenced 2 times, right? So if I want to see how it was used, I would click that link. That's opening a new page. And here on the left, it would filter only the 2 citation statements from my other paper. I think this is broken. It's broken it recently. But normally the idea here is to see in the full text of this one, the citation statement for this one. Right, that's about the citation report. And just to make it 100% clear, what is a cite badge, what is the supporting and contrasting, and how you can use that to analyze data. I can quickly show a report for an author here where we're there, and I finish that. So here you'll see like we had the total citing for an institution, you can have the total cited and citing for this author, right? How this author is citing others and how this author is being cited. And you have the list of all papers by this author. All right, so let's back to the home page. So we have now seen the citation report. We have seen quickly introduced the Scite MCP, the browser extension, a citation report. We've seen an author report. We've seen an organization dashboard. I haven't shown a journal dashboard. I could have clicked a journal link. That could have been kind of the same thing. I will now dive into the discovery search, right? So the standard search. I want to finish that demo with the assistant, right? So now with this standard search here, the idea, like I said in introduction, is to type words, and for these words you get a number of papers. So what was it? Was let me get back to this paper first, and I'll take words from it to type my search here. Now let's say I'm doing a research on that subject, right? Oh, copy paste the wrong link. All right. So I would say warehouse and picking optimization, right? Something like that. Yeah. So let's just to start with subject terms, right? So I have here more than 10,000 results, right? And because and those results sorted by relevance. So you see here, I'm not asking a question, getting an answer. I'm just looking for papers in my subject, and I'm getting a very high number of papers here because it was not a very restrictive or very fine-tuned search. Um, so I'm just getting a number of results. Then I can use some limits here to limit to more recent publication. For example, I look at something since 2020. All right. So it's still 10,000 more results. Maybe I want to filter some specific journal, some specific publication type, or I can refine my search by using the advanced search. So that's all classical search as you can do in other tools. Since I used a very generic typing in the beginning and I just did not type any I did not use any quotes or parentheses in the beginning. The tool has probably search, warehouse and manual, warehouse and picking, warehouse and optimization. That's why so many results. I could do, for example, search warehouse in title, like this. And uh, I would say I want manual and picking uh, within 3 words together, right? So this, it's all explained here again. So here I'm just trying to find manual picking, so like a sentence, but to be less restrictive rather than finding the exact sentence, manual picking. I'm searching those 2 words, manual and picking, within 3 words from each other in a sentence. Right? So after I do that, I should get far less results now because it's, wow, very weird. Uh, something weird here, something wrong. Title. All right. It's just that I had made some wrong selection in my previous screen, so it was doing something bad. But you see here now, only 100 results. And again, I can filter on most recent and whatever. And the idea here is when you get a list of papers that you are happy with, you can create a dashboard, right? You can first analyze this result. Oh, I did not click on summarize the citation on the previous citation report. This would have given me, like I did summarize the paper, this would have called the assistant and made a summary of what the citing paper was saying. Analyze results here. It will just be kind of a dashboard, right? With how many papers for this search and the most highly cited one and the number of papers according to the year. So it's again a quick one page with the data that we can extract from this search, right? And the most relevant papers here and insights that can be taken. You can create an alert. So like I could create an alert on an institution to know when a new paper is published citing this institution or this institution is publishing a new paper. I can create an alert here to know when there is a new paper published matching my search, or there is a new citation statement referring one of the paper in my list here, those 104, or a newly detected citation statement matching my search, right? So I'll do it as a classical one, like I did. I'm doing my search and I want to know anytime there is a new paper published, right? Or I could make it wider, get more alert by detecting anytime there is a new citation statement or a new citation statement referencing. That will send me an email. So that's obviously you need to be logged in. You can see on the left my order history. Obviously you need to be logged in here. The search, I could have done the search without being logged in, but I couldn't save. I would not be able to save or see my history. And most importantly, you can create a dashboard, right? Let me also add some, yes, I will filter an article. Maybe I get, no, it's okay. I will create a dashboard with those 80 papers. So that's like I had a dashboard for the institution. And again, another way to get alert. I will not get alert here because I already saved the alert separately. So that's now creating a portfolio with those 80 papers. And I'm getting this data. Oh, it's 80, so less than 100. So I don't get the index. But no, I can see immediately that there is one retracted paper in that list. I can view it by clicking on that link, and maybe I will want to remove that paper from my list. I could have done that with the limit. I can see the author publishing on that subject. So some authors that I may want to contact or look at what they have published to help me in my research. And that same list where I can filter the list and sort by supporting, contrasting, mentioning, right? And again, the ability to export this data in Excel, RIS, or CSV. If you want to use the data in your citation management tool or in Excel to do your own work on it. Right, so that's what we can do. So alert, I previously said, no, I don't want an alert to this dashboard. I can anytime come back here and enable the alert. You can delete, rename, you can share, right? Since you are using Scite and other users in your organization have Scite, you can share a link to this dashboard with a colleague, right? So that's here a list of all the user in my institution using it. So I could share with Matthias here and give him viewer or editor access. Then Matthias will have access to my dashboard. And we can collaborate on it and discuss on those findings. And last but not least, you can chat with the dashboard. So chat with the dashboard will allow you to ask any question, right? And the answer will be based only on these 80 papers, not on all papers in the database. So maybe that's a good time to transition to the assistant. Already only 15 minutes to go. So if I go into the assistant now, and I have here, you can see I'm using only the dashboard here. It's the same as going in settings and selecting here the dashboard in the drop-down list, right? And now I can ask a simple question. So, huh, uh, routing method. What's routing method? For example, right? So, and I could ask it as a table mode. I start with a table mode, and in the final step, I do it's just a general question to the entire database. So here, I'm looking at those 80 papers, and the tool will try to extract from each and every paper the routing method being discussed in the paper, if it can be found. If nothing found, the tool will tell me nothing found. So here, really, the idea is not to ask a general question and get an answer. The idea is that, so that's why it's called the table mode. I'm getting first line is this first paper out of 80. So I will get a table now of 80 papers, right? So you must be careful when you do that. Don't do that on a dashboard with 10,000 paper, or that would create a table of 10,000 line and take ages to fill, right? So here you can see the routing method discussed in the tool, right? And I could add, for example, a geography column, right? So that's some column which have been predetermined with an ideal population, some methods, some limitation to more focus on medicine, as you can see here, but you can also, for example, add geography. And so basically when you ask the tool to add a column for the geography, it's just a predefined prompt asking, describe the geography of the study, right? And maybe I want a bullet point with if there are different countries or different cities, it will create a bullet point of the cities. That's it. And here you see that's always when the tool is giving you some information, it is always linked with a reference to where this is coming from, right? So obviously here the statement here comes from this paper. And if you click on the icon here, you get the citation statement here, the full text, right? So here it takes more time to get the geography. And again, the tool will not try to invent or tell you some guessing. If the information cannot be found in the paper, the tool will simply tell you, no, sorry, I couldn't find the information in the tool. So I wish this geography search finish and I can show some. Oh, here, for example, not specified in the papers. Okay. So in that paper, maybe we don't have the full text, we have only the abstract and it couldn't be found, or it's simply not specified in the paper. So here there is no specification of any routing method used in that document, right? So, all right. Not provided in this. So there is no geographic information in those papers. Yeah, no specific location here. But I could also ask a custom column, right? Are there special findings in Asia, for example? in that paper. So I will not validate that current, but it's just a prompt, right? So you can just ask your natural language question and get the data that you want as a column, right? And you can see again that since I'm logged in, now I see my history. So that's when I click on summarize this paper from the citation report. That's my first question I've been asking in table mode. If I would ask a follow-up question here, I would still be chatting with my table and using only my dashboard. So if I want to start a new chat, I just click on the left here, new chat. The chat, like the dashboard, can be shared. So you can share a link to this chat with a colleague, or you can export all the data again. So this time I would ask a more what so if I want to find papers, I would say find papers, but yeah, I'm not interested in finding any specific papers. I just want a general response to a question. I will need to remove this, right, and remove the table mode. Now I just want an answer to a question, and I will, for example, use Claude instead of GPT. And what? Okay, I will say that our warehouse picking optimization can improve customer satisfaction, something like that, right? So that would be a general subject, whatever, or very specific subject you're interested in. You ask a question and want to get some insight. Uh, Interested in getting numbers, right? Something like that. Here it is. So now the tool will show us what it's doing, right? So it's going through a number of steps. So first is extracting, understanding what you say, right? So first, whenever you interact with an AI is just a bot, right? It's just computer, it's just one and zero. It's not an intelligence, it's nothing. So when you ask a question in natural language, here, first thing is for the tool to understand what you're saying. So AI is nothing more than just grouping, finding group of words and extracting group of words that make sense together, right? So from that natural language statement here, the tool is creating a search strategy. So what is a search strategy? It's just turning that group of words into a search query to find papers in the database, right? So it's just first transforming this into a search query, and this search query will allow to retrieve a number of relevant papers from the database. And then extract from this number of papers, again, group of words, sentence, which will allow to create looking like a proper human writing, answering my question, right? So here we are fact checking, making sure that the citation we are citing are true, that we are not citing a paper that doesn't exist. So it takes some time to fact check that we are citing real paper. So 16 papers verified, 18, 20. Since we have extract one rejected, okay. So there was one paper we wanted, three rejected, three paper we wanted to cite, which were rejected in the end, five. So we have 20 papers in the end that we are citing in this answer. So, and if we go back again to the search, so again, right? So that was the first step, right? Transforming that simple human natural language question, that question in English, into an English query with Boolean, right? So that was the first step. So here, you could as well use this to get the tool to help you create a search query that you can use in the standard search and save as an alert to monitor or survey a specific domain, right? Here you will not get only the 25 most relevant, you will see everything if I copy paste that in the standard search. Then the publication consulted, right? So that's the different paper we are citing in this one, in this answer, and that's the answer, right? Introduction, strategic importance of the warehouse performance for customer satisfaction. And every time, I've shown that already in the table mode, but when the tool is saying something, this something is always related to an actual published paper. So here we have introduced that. When I select on the screen, you can ask again the assistant for that. So I will unselect. When you move over, you can see that this writing is sustained by this paper, right? So that's not the AI inventing that. It's just this paper saying that, right? With the excerpt of full text again. And you can click on the title and look at the details of this actual paper. And here again, if I type another question here, examples in Asia, for example, right? Right, so here you're not really limited. The limit is the content you're searching, which is peer-reviewed literature. So you know the answer is true, it's real, it's based on actual publication. And you can continue to interact here, asking a second question, and that will provide you a second answer, right? But that's a continuation, so that's the same chat, right? We are continuing the same discussion on the same subject. Only 5 minutes for questions, sorry. If you have question you want to post in the chat box, it's now. Let me check if we have something here.
Eric, so maybe before we move on to the Q&A section, so I have something to announce here. Okay, so let me share the screen.
Yep.
And I would like to stop the recording now.